guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, after a request, I'm going to show you, let's get started. The requests, they're for some different farms. And I'm instead just going to lump it into one video and tell you what farms your server needs if you have a technical server or just want stuff. So, let's get into it. We'll start with the least important ones and get to the most important ones by the end of the video. Okay, so starting on the end of lesser important farms, let's just start in our farms district and get going. So on the lesser side, you want a cactus farm. These can provide green dye if you ever need it. I don't really know why. Also, similarly, you could do with a bone meal farm. Looks like we took the observers out of this one. That's no matter. Next, you could use a wool farm. Oh yeah, I'm also going to explain how they work. This one seems to be a bit broken. That's not good. Anyway, is it broken though? I don't think it is. Yeah, it's not. So anyway, how these work is, so the wool gets collected down here. They're actually pretty good and fast. And so how they work is a sheep. One of these dead lime? Okay, that's weird. And they're all in the same cage. You can have multiple in the same cage, but I prefer to have them in different cages. It looks like someone shoved my two cages together. I don't know who it was on the server. Probably Scoop. I'll do something about that. Anyway, so whenever you have, let me show you the redstone. So down here you have an observer. It detects whenever the grass block is updated, like when they eat it, powering this redstone, activating these shears, snipping their wool, which is picked up by a hopper minecart. And that's this farm. Alright, so the next farm we have here is a melon/pumpkin farm. So how this one works is, if we go up to the layer where the melons are actually being grown, oh god, you can see that these observers observe whenever a pumpkin is grown, and since the stem changes, so they're observing the stem. And if we go in here, you can see that if you just place redstone on top of these observers and they observe it, and then you have hopper minecarts collecting all the items. Next up is an iron farm. How these work is you have a bunch of villagers down there and they count as a village. So they will thus far spawn a iron golem, which will die in that lava, and then you can use hoppers to collect the drops. Next up is a moss farm. These work by having something bone meal a singular piece of moss, that's right here, like this. It'll bone meal the moss, except there's cobblestone there, so it's not working. It has to be stone. It'll bone meal the moss, which will turn that all into moss blocks, and then they will be broken and swept away by a hopper minecart. Again, hopper minecarts are very useful. Now over here you have a tree farm. How these work is you grow a tree, and then it knows when a tree has grown. Not really sure how, but it knows that somehow, and then it pushes it out here, and a TNT duper just blows it up. Okay, on to section 2, more important farms. Okay, one of the almost necessary farms, these aren't like super in order, but they are pretty in order, is some sort of nice fast mob farm where you can just go down here and grab some gunpowder for fireworks since they just ran out, and this will happen to you all the time. It can be this design, it can be a super overpowered design, super simple design, it does not really matter. Next kind of farm you want is some sort of way to obtain food. We'll get to that later, but there's a lot of ways to do this. So another farm you want, I don't know if this really counts as a farm, but it's a super smelter. You could have a nice simple one like this, slightly more complex one like this, Or you could have something like this that can smelt like, I don't know, 128 items every 8 seconds. That's how many furnaces it is times the time it takes to smelt it. Okay, now let's move on to later game farms and ones that you still want. Here's a shulker farm. I don't remember who built this one, but these are amazing as you can get so many shulker shells so quickly and they're very useful. Another farm you probably want is the squid farm. These are pretty simple, and if you ever need black dye, you can do this. Also, you don't have a raid farm yet, and we'll get to that later. These are a great way since librarians can trade ink sacs for emeralds. Another farm you want, there's a lot of farms, trust me guys, this is going to be a long video, is a rail farm. Kind of. Does this count as a farm? No idea. It's really something with the rails mechanics means when this goes, it'll break the rails and duplicate them. Another farm which you probably might want, and I don't actually have, is a chicken farm. They're super simple. You just have a chicken sitting in a cage, sitting on a hopper, and it'll produce eggs. The hopper goes to a chest. They're super simple. I don't feel like they're super necessary. And you can make as many as you want, hook them up to the same storage. Okay, now let's go to the Nether for the Nether Farms. Okay, so here's the other end of the shulker thing. Again, shulker farm, you know. Cool. Okay, another Nether farm that you really want is over here. A gold farm. These are super useful since they'll get you lots of gold. Probably. Oh, my mob cap's on. That's my bad, guys. That's my bad. My mob cap's on. You can't see it in action. Give me 1 minute. Cut right here. Okay. Alright, man. To turn off I just went and turned off the mob cap. I won't get into that since that's not a farm. Anyway, they spawn up here. Go to the turtle eggs. And splat. Okay, that's cool. And now, let's go to even more farms. Okay, right here we have a very simple piglin farm that I designed myself. It's literally just a big platform of that nether stuff and carpet to prevent other stuff from spawning. Over here we just have a piglin bartering station. Super simple. Super easy. And then over here, you have more farms that are pretty important. Here's a froglite / not very efficient magma cube farm. It produces a bunch of magma cubes and froglites. Those are cool. And over here, on Striders, we have a wither skeleton farm. There you go. So now it just spawns wither skeletons, and since I'm on, it shouldn't be spawning normal skeletons, but since I'm on multiplayer, it does anyway. I haven't figured out why, how. You need to keep, if you can't prevent these skeletons from spawning, they do kill the iron golems, and it's a pain in the butt. Here's a blaze farm. So how this one works is the only way to really make this one is a blaze spawner, or that's the easy, simple one anyway. You can make really large and complex ones. Blaze spawner just spawns blazes. Wow, so complicated. They fall down here. You hit them with your sword. Items get picked up through the slabs into this chest. They're pretty fast inside looting. And now, let's go check up on the wither skeleton farm, since some probably have gone through, hopefully. So how this one works is wither skeletons, they have a cooldown to go through the nether portal. So there's just a bridge in the overworld to prevent them from, so they can actually get through, and they die, and then stuff gets launched, goes into these chests, you can use it. That was pretty easy and simple. Now, let's get to other overworld farms. Okay, so I'm pulling up on my new raid farm with Bad Omen. But first, I'm start flying. Here's the Guardian Farm. So how it works is you just have a bunch of soul sand around an ocean monument. Pushes the Guardians up into the killing chamber and then they die. Very simple. So you can build any level of complexity raid farms. I chose to build a stupidly complex one. So this is the Kronos V3 raid farm. Ooh, it's a Rivian. Like one of those Rivian Amazon trucks. And these are insanely fast. Here, I'll just show you how it works. And they're also really hard to operate. This is how you start it. Step 1. Doesn't work. There we go. And now you wait. I'm just gonna put Jeopardy music over this in editing. There we go. And then you do, this actually requires Carbon Mod to prevent client server desync. So you do player, Rock Ninja 32, attack, interval 10. And then it'll start multiple raids. Give it a second, it takes a little while to really get going. There we go. You see that it's almost constant? It's a lot of raids. Let's stop it. Stop. And this is pretty insane. After like 2 hours of AFKing, I get this much gunpowder, this much redstone, this many emeralds. Oh my god. And the thing is, I need all these emerald slices since these actually overflow a lot. That's cool though. Who put this there? No, I gotta get rid of this portal. That would link wrong. That would just screw up all the linking. I'll get rid of that later. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's go on to the final few farms of the video. I think there's only a couple left, like 3 or 4. So you guys almost made it through. Good for you. Okay, so here is a sand duper. I have no clue how this works. I'm not really a technical Minecraft YouTuber. No technical stuff, but like flings the sand into the end portal, and then the end portal eats the sand and dupes it. Sorry for the schematic. Here's progress on the end base, so you can just get a perspective of how long this is taking. This thing is taking forever. It's just massive. This is way bigger than you think it is. Anyway, this is a sand duper, and there's one more farm that I have. Only one more. It doesn't actually work because of the station having Enderman spawn on it. But what it does is Enderman spawn on the platform, and then they attack the Endermite, which seems to have died. Great. And that's really it. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you in the next one. It will not be the end-based video. I can guarantee that, okay guys?